Hello queens. I'm back at y'all with another client tutorial, and today I'm showing y'all how I created this glitter accent line cut crease. And y'all already know I'm starting the tutorial off by cleaning my client's face. Now that her face is clean, I'm just going to begin working on her eyebrows, and I'm using my Nicka K brow pencil, and I believe this one is in the shade black. I'm going to start by outlining both of her brows. Now that both of her brows have been outlined, I'm going to start filling in all the sparse areas. Once I've made my way to the front of her brows, I'm going in with a different shade. This one is in the shade dark brown, I believe, and I'm just doing little hair-like strokes. It's going to make it easier to blend into the back. I'm going to be alternating between the two pencil shades to create a nice seamless blend. Once I have it filled in to my liking, I'm just going to brush over everything with my spoolie, and then I'm going to repeat the same process on the other eyebrow. To lay her brow hairs down in place, I'm going in with my I.envy clear eyelash glue, and I like to apply a generous amount, and then I mold the hairs down using the spoolie end of my pencil. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going in with these two Nicka K concealers, and they're in the shades 07 and 01. First, I'm taking the shade 01, and I'm using this to clean up underneath her arch. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I feel like the eyebrows are one of the most tedious steps when it comes to makeup, so I really like to take my time when carving them out. I love for the eyebrows to be as nice and crisp as possible. Once I'm finished cleaning up underneath her arch, I'm going to go in and blend out all of that concealer. And then for the remainder of the way, on the top and the bottom of her brows, I'm just going to be going in with the shade 07. If you're interested in knowing what brushes that I'm using during this tutorial, I do have an updated brush video on my channel, so make sure that you tune in for that video after you finish watching this one. Majority of the brushes that I use on a regular are linked in that video, and they're all affordable. As y'all can see, that eyebrow is nice and clean. Now I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the other one. I'm taking some of my RCMA No Color powder and I'm going to be applying this to the front of her brows to lighten them up. And I'm also going to be using it to set some of the concealer in place. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade White. If you don't have the shade White, then you can use the shade Fair Rose. But as you can see, I'm just applying this all over her lids. You want to make sure that you apply your base as evenly as possible, because if you have an even base, then you should have even eyeshadows. To start this look off, I'm going in with my Black Radiance Contour Palette in the level light to medium, and I'm taking the Sculpting shade and I'm using it as my transition. Now I'm just going to be going in with my Black Radiance Pressed Powder in the shade Black Coffee, and I'm using this to deepen up her crease. I'm going to be taking a deeper brown shade from my Jaclyn Hill times Morphe palette, and I'm going to be using this to map out the shape for my cut crease. So as you can see, I'm applying this color into her crease, and then I'm dragging it down to the edge of her lash line, and I'm going to be alternating between this color and the previous shade just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. I'm taking a little bit more of my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I'm just applying this to the center of her lids to clean them up. This step is optional. You don't have to do this. Once I've applied the concealer, I'm going to set it in place using a matte white eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to be going in with this Ashley Lee pigment in the shade Silver Milky Way. This is my favorite pigment, y'all, all-time favorite. And I'm just applying this all over her lids. I didn't go in with any adhesives. I applied it directly on top of the eyeshadow. To draw out my cut crease lines, I'm going in with this LA Colors brown liquid eyeliner. And we pretty much already have the shape mapped out with the eyeshadow, so you just want to follow that shape. First, I'm going to create a wing, and then I'm going to connect the wing into her crease. You want to take your time with this step as well and just try to create a nice even trace of the cut crease shape. If you create a few jagged lines, it's okay because we're going to be going on top of it with glitter anyway. But y'all know me, I'd like to try to get things as neat as possible. Now we're just going to go in and add the details. For my adhesive, I'm using my I.envy Clear Lash Glue. And I'm going to be going in with crystals, glitters, charms, all of that, y'all. So first I'm taking the crystals and I'm just gluing them down. I went ahead and applied the glue on top of my lines, and I'm applying the crystals using my applicator. And now I'm going in and I'm adding some chunky glitter in between the crystals. This is the Mermaid Scales glitter. I'm not sure of the shade name, but I do know that it's from Mermaid Scales, y'all. And now I'm just going in and I'm applying some white crystals on top of the glitter. And in between the white crystals, I'm taking some gold leaf flakes and I'm just pressing them in place. I'm going to try to include all the brands and the shade names in the description box down below, but here is an up-close visual of how I added the details onto her eyes. As you can see, I'm just going in with the adhesive, and now I'm placing the crystals on top of the lines. We are gonna go in between the crystals with the chunky glitter. Once I've pressed on the glitter, I'm going in with 2 white crystals and just adding them for extra details. And then to fill in any more blanks, I'm going to be going in with the gold leaf flakes and just pressing them in place. Once I've pressed everything down in place, that'll be it for the eyes, and we're moving on to the face. So I'm moisturizing her face using my Pond's moisturizer. I like to apply a generous amount and then I just blend it out with one of my damp Real Technique sponges. To prime her face, I'm going in with my Ruby Kisses Pore Minimizing Primer, and I like to really focus this in the T-zone. Like I did with the moisturizer, I'm just going in with a generous amount and then blending it out with my damp Real Technique sponge. To color correct around her face, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer in the shade 07, and I did go in and mix it with a little bit of the shade 01. For her foundation, I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade Classic Tan. I'm gonna go in and blend her foundation out using this dense foundation brush. As I said, if you're interested in knowing what brushes that I use in this video, majority of them have been linked in my updated brush video. So make sure that you tune in after you finish watching this one. But I like to use tapping motions when blending out the foundation, and you want to make sure that you're light-handed as possible, just because if you're light-handed, then you won't create any harsh creases in the foundation. To highlight her face, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer in the shade 01. I'm going to blend that concealer out using the same brush that I used to blend out her foundation, just to create a nice seamless blend. I'm gonna allow the concealer to sit underneath her eyes a little longer and just move on to contour. So to contour her face, I'm using my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I don't know the shade name, but it looks like this. And I'm applying it with a foundation brush. I'm just gonna press it in on her cheekbones, and I'm also gonna apply a small amount onto her jawline. Now that her face has been contoured, I'm gonna go in and sculpt out her nose. Whenever I'm contouring the nose, I just like to define the bridge of the nose, and then I blend out the contour lines using my concealer brush. I just go in and press up against the edges, as you can see. And if I feel like the line isn't clean enough, I go down the center of the nose with concealer. But if I have it to my liking, then I leave it as is. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out the concealer underneath her eyes. To set the concealer in place, I'm going to be using my Morphe loose powder in the shade Banana. To set the contoured areas of her face, I'm going back in with my Black Radiance contour palette in the level light to medium, and I'm just using the sculpting shade. To set the remaining areas of her face, I'm going in with my Fenty loose powder in the shade Honey. Now I'm just going in with the orange and pink blush from my Juvias Place to Her and Blush palette, and I'm applying it to the apples of her cheeks. I'm taking some black eyeshadow and I'm using it to line the edge of her waterline. Now I'm going in with a brown eyeshadow and I'm using it to smoke out the edge of her lower lash line. Once I'm finished working on her under eyes, I'm going to go ahead and dust away all of the powder. To set her face in place, I'm going in with this Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. While her face is drying, I'm going to go ahead and apply her lashes. While her lashes are drying, I'm going to go ahead and highlight her face, and I'm using my Bperfect highlighter. Moving on to the lips, I'm taking my Juvias Place Cream Foundation, and I'm using this to outline her lips. The shade name will be in the description box. For her lip combo, I'm going in with this liquid lipstick from Snatched and this lip gloss from KolorMeHappi. First, I'm going in with the liquid lipstick, and I'm just going to be working this into her liner using this disposable lip wand. Now I'm just going to go on top of that liquid lipstick with the KolorMeHappi lip gloss, and this combination was so pretty, y'all. I'm going to have her press her lips together to help me blend the two colors in. Now, if you would like to, you can leave the lips like this, but y'all know I'm a gloss type of girl, so I'm going in with this Beauty Supply Store glitter lip gloss, and I just applied this on top of the combo. And once I had it all applied, that was the finished look.
Oh man,
I ain't even got to ask you the question yet. You already. Okay, you ready to see?
no.
Girl.
This is cute.
Unfortunately, queens, my background ended up getting very loud, so I had to cut the reveal short, but she did tell me that she loved this look and she took pictures immediately after she left the salon. So I hope you all enjoyed this look. This is officially my first prom look, and I have more to come, so make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye, queens.